Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Student Arcs Network. It's Ryan here. Today, I am going to go through how I chose my pharmacy school, and some thoughts and tips for you to select the best school for yourself. I know it's around the time of the year where the new cycle starts. Again, good luck to y'all who is going to apply for this current cycle. As someone who just applied the last cycle and got accepted to pharmacy school, I just want to share some tips on how I chose the right school for myself. If you have any questions in regard to, how the application process goes through, anything that you need to be aware of during your application or your interview and stuff, there are tons of resources out there that I will link below. So I would just again go ahead and share some of my thoughts on how I ultimately chose UCI. First of all, I want to share a little about, where to find those resources at first. Again, I'll have links down below in the description for it. But in order to choose what pharmacy school suits you, you want to get a better idea of the system within pharmacy schools and how doctor of pharmacy program works. So I think the best way to go, first off, is obviously PharmCas. If you're not applying this current cycle, you can always open up an account or just to browse the schools that are going to fit your needs. Um, there are also the significance of pharmacy school websites or and their social media. I believe that they promote what their school offers or things like that that can give you a little bit more of an idea what kind of pharmacy school you want to go to. And last but not least, events and school fairs. The vlogs that I did for pre-pharmacy day or like Southern California pre-pharmacy symposium or other fairs all around the nation. These are very, very important for you to get a grasp of like what kind of school do you want, because at those moments, those are where like a lot of the schools are going to be present, and you basically have the opportunity to talk to the representatives or even their students to see what their feel of what their school is about. And I think that's very, very important. So like let's just say maybe you're a little bit shy and look, not really know where to start. I think the best way is to actually just interact with them in a normal way during these network events so that they were able to provide more of an insight of what to expect from a doctor of pharmacy program. And also, I believe it's very important, to actually go through or actually understand if their claims on their website or social media is true. So you might also want to prepare a little bit of questions for them, like see like what kind of program they are and see if what they claim is true. So I also summarized a little bit about all the factors that I believe is important to consider when you choose a pharmacy school. First of all, logistical, like where the school is located. Do you want to stay around where you live, or do you want to like explore more outside in state or out of state? I think that's very important. Secondly, the price of the pharmacy school. Some public universities compared to private universities have drastic different prices in terms of the tuition and their living cost. So I think again, it's very, very important for you to consider, especially because you're going to most likely take out a loan, and you're going to need to repay it within your pharmacy career. So you want to make sure that you have a financial plan and be financially stable in the future while paying your loans as well. And that also leads to financial resources available within the school. Like you have your scholarship, your loans, your grants, availability. Just FYI that there's no government grants for graduation schools. So you're there basically you're taking out private loans, or either there's scholarships offers for you from the school perspective. Also, environment I believe is very important. You want to be suited in an environment that you feel safe, you feel comfortable with, to work on your doctor of pharmacy program. Again, it's a very stressful process, so you want to make sure that you are well supported within that environment and making sure you can finish your degree. Other, I think, pretty important things for me personally, especially, was class size and the years of finishing your PharmD. Class size, I think it is very dependent on what kind of thing you're preferencing, because for me, the smaller the class size is better. So I will be able to interact more with my colleagues, my cohorts to support each other. There are other advantages for a big class size, like 100, 200 people class size. But for me personally, I like smaller class size. Next is about years. Usually it's going to surround around 3 to 4 years of your doctor of pharmacy program. I personally like to choose a law 4 years because I just feel more comfortable in experiencing, different experience within my pharmacy school year instead of rushing my doctor of pharmacy degree. There are people out there who prefer 3 years because they can get to the workforce faster, or they just feel comfortable about their ability to able to gain all the experience they need as a to become a pharmacist within 3 years. And next point, I would say like the most three factors is the credibility part. Them getting the schools getting accredited, the curriculum, how they shape it. Is it block system or is it a normal system? Or some of the more concerns maybe for you guys might be passing rates or match rates. So you can see how the school well prepares you in terms of like passing your NAPLEX or your respective law exams, or something like how well the graduates match into residencies or fellowships. And another very important part is their field perspective on how the pharmacy field overall feel about their students. I've heard a lot of different stories from different pharmacies, like saying like, oh, their interns coming into this pharmacy and working, some worked really well, so like they have a better reputation of the school. Some didn't really work as well, so they might have a less of a good reputation towards school. So I think that's very, very important actually. But you won't be able to like really get a know of that unless you work in a pharmacy or you have contacts with pharmacists sharing about their thoughts on their interns. So I believe that's also a very important point that you should consider. Third point is actually experiential. Being able to listen to pharmacy students out there for the most direct and real response of what it feels like to be a pharmacy student in that school. I believe, they can share about their opportunities, their academic experience, their rotations, their leaderships, or the areas of growth in general. I think that's very important for you to be able to understand from their direct perspective on how they experience through their pharmacy school journey. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about myself and like how I went through the whole process of choosing a pharmacy school. I think for me, actually those 3 points or those factors are not the most important for me. Interestingly enough, the most important point for me is actually my personal goals of what I want to be when I become a pharmacist. So since there's so much different options for you to choose from, and the fields that you can pursue as a pharmacist, I think I want to have a school that will able to provide support and solid foundation on what I want to become as a pharmacist in the future. Not only that, I want to be able to be in a school that allows me to become a leader in pharmacy in the future as well. And last but not least, I want to demand the most opportunities out there to explore my career and actually to create something. When you're thinking about personal goals, like if you don't have one yet, I believe ask these questions to yourself. What do you want to come up with the program, or just a pharmacy, or anything, something more? I believe that it is very important for you to establish that goal of pursuing a doctor of pharmacy degree to become a pharmacist before you really go ahead and apply for pharmacy school, because we need more pharmacists out there that are like ambitious and know what goal they're working towards. And I believe that if you have that goal in mind, you will succeed and you will be able to help patients out there in the future with a goal that you want to help improve healthcare or in the field in general. For me, like I believe that is important for me to grow there and hopefully make a change to the field in the future. So I want a pharmacy school that supports these goals for me, and to be able to maybe hopefully be there up there one day. Well, while I said those personal goals are most important for me, I'll obviously also consider logistics, or like all the other three factors when I chose my pharmacy school. So obviously logistically, I am from California, so I want to stay in California actually. I still ain't comfortable to go out of state yet. So the farthest I will go basically, because I'm from Northern California and I went to school in UCI, so in Southern California. So I want to continue that relation between like have separation between NorCal and SoCal, because in general I feel like I will be able to work better or have a better focus when I'm alone in a separate area, but not too far from home. So I think Southern California makes a perfect fit for me, or stay in California in general. I prefer small class size, as I speak about, because I get to interact with my peers more and get to know more about my cohort. So I would say that around 50 was kind of like the max for me. And that's a very small class size because most schools basically ranges around really 80 to 100. I'm not sure about how now, maybe since there's less applicants out there, how the class size is gonna look, but historically it's around 80 to 100 in terms of the average of class size within pharmacy schools, I believe. And I also want to talk about why I chose a 4 year, because I just believe that, I want to gain more experience out there. I want to be able to explore all the options out there during my 4 years as a pharmacy student. And I just don't really want to rush a 3 year degree where I just, wasn't able to explore as much as I could when I talk to the people, when I talk to the students in 3 year degree programs. Obviously, I want to also consider the credibility of, the school. I want to make sure that they are credible. They are fine in terms of doing their accreditation or continuing their accreditation. And I know that I'm a competitive student because I've done a lot during my undergrad years. So I want to choose the top schools around me first. So I did indeed chose between when I applied is SD, UCSD, UCSF, and as well as UCI. And I want to make sure that I am getting the best quality of education out there and making sure that trained clinically they become a pharmacist. And that's no slander to any other pharmacy school that I didn't apply out there, because I believe most schools have the credibility out there. Just I also want to look over what their students are doing in terms of evaluating their credibility, because I want to go through and make sure that they're doing the right things. They are, developing as a pharmacist in the future. And I also want to look at what the graduates are doing, because that basically represents what kind of opportunities does the school offer for someone to pursue a career in pharmacy. For me personally, I believe that the NAPLEX passing rates, or the respective law exam passing rates, or something like the residency matching, or any other fellowship that you pursue if you're going into the industry, doesn't really matter that much to me, because I believe that if I want to become a successful pharmacist, I should be able to at least pass the exam based on my own abilities. And last but not least, I believe experiential is very important as well. For me, not the most important, but it's also one of the 3 factors that I just mentioned. Pharmacy students that I can relate to is really important. So I just like to interact with pharmacy students out there during fairs or during like networking opportunities, and see what their feels like and see how I can fit my values into them. I think that's one of the very important points in terms of how I chose a school, and especially having pharmacy students who can mentor me and have the similar ambitions that I can follow their footsteps towards. So last but not least, I want to cover a little about why I chose UCI. So I was actually I first applied for UCSD because they have a early application in August, early application deadline. So I want to make sure that I am getting into a pharmacy school, first of all. So I interviewed for SD and they accepted me, and I actually did accept a spot there before, because again, UCSD is a very, very good school to pursue a doctor of pharmacy degree in. They're highly credible. All my friends basically kind of go there just because like they first of all enjoy the environment around San Diego, but they also really like the program in terms of how they have a small class size. They really get to know each other, and like their graduates have really high residency match rates and passing rates as well. So I did accept my SD spot initially, but I found myself in a spot where I want to be more ambitious. I want to be able to, develop something or things that I can work on. And that brings in UCI, because they are a new school. They are, as I'm recording right now, their second year just finished their classes. So I will be going into UCI as at their third class. And that means that they haven't officially get accredited yet. They are applying for accreditation status. And some people might take this as like a risk. What if they don't get accredited, or what if they say, again, they need to be forced to shut down if they don't get accredited, and what would we do? I think I am very confident in my beliefs, or I'm very confident from what I see from UCI, and being able to talk to the representatives, or even like within experience UCI as a farm sci undergrad, I believe. But what I want to say is that my personal goal again is to create, or to hopefully make a name, or to make history to something. I think UCI fits my bill perfectly because they are a new school. They are looking for developments. They're looking for people who can have like ambitious minds to hopefully shape how the school and the curriculum looks like. So I did interview for UCI, I believe around November, and then basically I have the winter break to debate between UCI and UCSD. And ultimately I chose UCI because I just believe that my personal goal fits their goal as well. So I think that was a very interesting process, thought process that I made. And I really did consult, during the time, consult with, the professors, my parents, as well as my friends, to what I want to choose from. And that really plays a major part into why I choose UCI. I also want to get a quick mention to UCSF. I did apply to UCSF because I just want to like have the alternate option of maybe staying around home, which is Northern California for me, or like basically reducing the cost of living. And also again, UCSF is a well-credible school. My cousin goes there. She's doing great right now. And things that just didn't make me comfortable as much is actually just the 3-year program. Again, I wanted to mention that I would prefer a 4-year program. So that's just the reason why I didn't choose UCSF. So what are your thoughts on choosing pharmacy school? Have you heard all these factors that I've considered have inspired you to maybe make your own personal goals, and as well as some factors for yourself? I hope that this video helps for you to make a decision in the future, and good luck to all your applicants in this upcoming cycle. Thank you for watching the video. Subscribe if you like our channel and the content that we make. Click the like and share button if you enjoyed this video today, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.